International College and coordinator of Business Model Competition Cambodia, to come on stage to present his opening remarks and introduction to the judging panel. Thank you.
Hello. Okay, so good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 11th anniversary edition of the Business Model Competition Cambodia. This year we received 70 video applications from about 20, actually more than 25 universities and schools across Cambodia, and we selected the best 28 teams to join our training program. Then about 2 weeks ago, we had our semifinal competition with 25 teams. And from the semifinal competition 2 weeks ago, we are now down to our top 13 teams who are here today to present at CJCC. This year, we also have increased prize money. This is our highest prize money ever, which is a total of 15,000 US dollars. And that is divided into a gold, silver, and bronze award and special social award and innovation award. So we'll be rewarding 5 teams today. And we will also be selecting the top 3 teams to represent Cambodia in the upcoming McKinsey Mekong Challenge, where our teams will compete against the best in the region, in the Mekong region, and also Bhutan. Just to give a little context, the purpose of the business model competition is, one, to serve as a platform for talent development among youth in Cambodia. And the second purpose is very much to develop an entrepreneurial mindset among Cambodian university students, with the expectation that they will launch social businesses and regular startup businesses, but not always immediately. We expect it's very much a long-term process. So again, it's very much exposing people to the concept of entrepreneurship and social entrepreneurship with, again, the future expectation that they will, you know, after more experience, move forward and launch real businesses. The methodology today is not a business plan methodology. So we are not looking for the best financial pro forma statements. It's basically a lean startup approach, where we reward the teams that make the best effort, basically getting out of the building, talking to customers, surveying customers, talking to experts, and trying to validate their assumptions. And basically, failure is a good thing for us because we think people learn from failure. We think that if you don't have failure, it's probably because you're not trying hard enough. So actually, in the judging methodology, we reward failure. It's not just any failure. We're looking for what failures or what obstacles the teams faced, and also how they creatively responded to those obstacles moving forward. Each team will have exactly 10 minutes to present, and then we will have 10 minutes of Q&A from our judging panel. So now let me introduce our distinguished judging panel for today. Let me introduce first Mrs. Mon Sri Lek, Senior Manager from Khmer Enterprise. Mr. Takeharu Mitsukoshi, CEO of Forval Cambodia. Mr. Pen Chanda, co-founder Bongloi. Mr. Bernardo Isio, Vice President Corporate Affairs Total Cambodia. Dr. Kim Ling, Director CJCC. Ms. Jazreen Kaur, Head of Customer Experience and Digital Touchpoint Smart Axiata. Mr. Ong Visot Panya, Associate Director Brand and Digital Marketing Manulife. Mrs. Ki Somana, Head of User Experience and Marketing at Sathapana Bank. Ms. Tong Thi Da, Managing Director of Tong Enterprises, and Mr. Matthew Rendell, Managing Partner, Soxipana and Associates. So now I would like to pass things back to our MC to introduce the first team. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor. Hello. Thank you, Professor Stephen Patterson, for giving us a warming remark and an introduction to our wonderful, loving judges. Moving on with our agenda, I would like to invite our first BMC team from Paragon International University to come on stage and present their idea to the audience. Please welcome Besson Box. Thank you. While our team are preparing for their presentation, I would like to remind the student team and our judges that each team will have 10 minutes to present their ideas, and judges will only have 10 minutes for their Q&A session. Our timer will ring the bell once when you have 1 minute left to wrap up. When we ring the bell twice, it means your time is up. We would like to ask everyone to kindly respect the time given to you. If not, our volunteer will have to take matters into our own hands to ensure that our program is moving forward smoothly as scheduled. Thank you very much. Team, are you guys ready?
Hello. Okay.
Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay, you may start your presentation. Thank you.
So, great honorable judges, ladies and gentlemen, have you ever been in a moment that you are hungry but you don't know what to eat or which recipe to cook for your dinner? Especially shout out to those who are busy working professional and they barely have time to think of a proper meal. Well, to validate the problem, we have done the primary research, which we conduct both e-survey and face-to-face survey with a total of 158 people who are the university students, working professionals, and business owners. And as a result, around 80% of them have faced the problem of daily choices because they don't prefer to eat out or buy the food delivery because since it is expensive, it often has the hygienic problem and it is often unhealthy as well. And they also prefer to cook their own meal and go for their own grocery shopping. But, you know, traffic jam hurt, especially in Phnom Penh, and it is also time consuming. Let's say you want to cook a mushroom soup and then you have to go and buy the mushroom, the meat, and there are many other ingredients, right? So this is our customer pain point. And we also have talked to one failed food startup, and we recognize that they failed because their solution doesn't solve this customer pain point. So we also add a questions in our previous customer surveys. And the question is, what are they looking for? So the answer is a little bit complex because all of the customers, they are looking for something that is cheap, easy and healthy. Again, cheap, easy and healthy. Three of this at the same time. So how can we solve this equation? Well, let me introduce you to Best in Bulk. Wait, sorry. Let me introduce you to Best in Bulk. Best in Bulk is a prepared meal kit for each ready-to-cook recipe designed especially for those who really want, who prefer home-cooked meals and those who want to learn cooking. It's just like you want to make a mushroom soup, you just buy over bulk and then the mushroom, the meat and other ingredients are there in your kitchens. And when I talk about this business concept, you probably blow your mind to what have been sold on the supermarkets and wonder what makes us different. So, Best in Bulk provides you the high quality product with the convenient ways of buying and also the suitable price. And we also provide the entertainment. What? Entertainment? How? Shh. I will talk about it later. Okay, so the competitive advantage that I have just mentioned are classified as our customer value propositions. And then we go and test our business idea by conducting the pilot one, which we sell to the people we know about our product, which is a healthy and creative recipe with the organic vegetable and high quality meats. And they also can select the amount of people that they are cooking for. And then the result was that our customers are really satisfied with our product. However, they also satisfied with providing many concerns for us to, in order to develop our business idea. And from the concern and from the operation itself, we have come to some learning point that in terms of product, it is a little bit expensive. And unfortunately, our creative recipe fails. Because we find that our customer, they prefer something easy than too creative. And in terms of demand, even though they know us, but they still have the concern over the food quality. And in terms of the distribution, we find that it is hard and complex for us to deliver by ourselves. So we would like to make the pivots or adjustments to our business idea by, in terms of product, we change from the creative recipe into the easy recipe. And we also seek for a partnership with one organic store, which is Khmer Organic, and also come up with 3 classes of box size, which is SML, let's say 1 to 2 people for size S, and then here is the price range. And in terms of demand, we are trying to add the sourcing of products so as we can increase the public confidence. And in terms of the distribution, we decided to choose Grab Express as our delivery agents. Well, before moving on to the next content, I would like to tell you what have happened last month. So actually last month, we have bring Best in Bulk into a business competitions stage, and we are really surprised. Guess what? We got so many support from the audience that they have live on the Facebook, and some even encourage us to implement it as soon as possible. So with all of the support from the customer and also the beloved audience, we still, so now we can validate our demand. But to have a better demand clarifications, we conduct an analysis on the survey and the market side, and we can find around 17K potential demand right now. So, which is good for conducting the pilot 2, right? But wait, we cannot conduct it yet. Since our pilot 2 is the concept of selling to the public or testing with the public. So we come up with the marketing plan or marketing strategy by doing both the physical marketing and digital marketing. Especially we focus on the cooking channel, the entertainment that I have just promised to talk about it. So we would like to make a cooking channel which partner with the chef and also other food blogger, so that we can attract the customer and we also can maintain a good relationship with them. And now we are in the process of negotiating with Chef Kanya from MasterChef Khmer to let her collaborate with us and make that cooking channel. And we give the 10% of the net profit as our incentive. And yeah, okay, marketing is done, but business is money, right? So we have to come up with our financial plan. So in our financial projection, we aim to earn every $1 of the net profit for sales and the targeted demand of around 18K unit order per year for this first year with the startup cost of around $1,050. And yeah, you can see that right now, currently, we only can make the profit from selling, but in the future, we can earn another revenue stream from the advertisement if other company, they want to promote their products in our cooking channels, and we can earn a little bit marginal profit from the video view that we have posted on Facebook and also the YouTube channels. So yeah, it seems like we have already prepared to be a seller, but how about our customer? How can they buy our products? Well, to fit into the Cambodian market, we decided to sell on social media such as Facebook and Instagram. And for the high-tech customer, they also can buy it on our website. And yeah, they can choose either they buy it once or they make a weekly subscription so that they can get more discount. And our business idea consists of only 4 simple steps. First one, they just go into our platform and then they will see this weekly menu as the recommendation, so they don't need to think of what to eat, and then they can browse for more details and then select site, click order. So that's it, very simple. And for those who want to learn cooking but they don't know how to cook, so we provide them with something special about our cooking recipe that we will insert it manually into our box. Either they can scan it on our box, scan the QR code on our box, and then they can see how to cook on their phone, and they also can see the video telling how to cook. And we also provide another delivery channels by delivering it in Phnom Penh to their home, to their workplace, and also they can pick up at our store in the future. And here is the complete framework of our business model that you may wonder why do we need to come up with this business model. So we come up with this because first of all, it gives many value propositions to our customer so that they can increase their standard of living. And our cooking channel play as a little bit cooking knowledge to the society and also entertainment at the same time. And yeah, it exists because our team commitments, level skill and flexibility. So a little bit about us. We are the students from Paragon International University, majoring in computer science, international relations, and banking and finance. And we also integrate those skills into to fulfill only one specific vision. So what is our vision? Honorable judges, ladies and gentlemen, with Best in Bulk, we are committed to revolutionize your home cooking experience. So what are you waiting for? Be our future customer by like and follow our social media for future updates. Thank you.
Hello? Thank you, team, for your presentation. The judges may ask questions now.
Thank you very much for the presentation. There's a lot of judges, so I think we can only ask a very short question each. But one thing I'm interested in is you're obviously responsible for the preparation of the food, right, for the ingredients. You take care of that side, you put it in the box. But you're going to link with delivery services. Is that the idea, to deliver the boxes? So you won't be doing the delivery, right? You'll be using Grab, Deliver, or something like that. Is that the idea?
Yes, first of all, we deliver it by ourselves, and then we find it's hard for us, so we chose to deliver by Grab Express. Okay, and given that you're trying to make $1 per box in profit, have you thought about what happens if something happens with the delivery? Do you understand how Grab delivery works, and that if for some reason it doesn't get delivered, it falls off his bike, whatever, you've lost the product? Have you also looked into that aspect? Because that would be a big take out of your profit, right, if that occurred. What happens in that situation? Yes, actually, being a product seller, the quality of product is much more concerned, and yeah, we know that delivered by Grab Express, we will incur those kind of problems, but we will try to like talk to them because we choose Grab Express instead of other delivery company because they are more like officials and they also have their like clear they are clear regulation of delivery.
I understand what the problem would be. I just want to know whether you've spoken to Grab about what happens in that situation. I just want to know whether you've looked into that issue at all, or you're just, you know what I mean? Because as part of business, that's one of your possible pitfalls, right? Something happens.
Yes.
So all I want to know is have you looked into what happens if you use Grab Delivery and they do not deliver? I'm sure they have a policy. I just don't know what it is. I'm just wondering whether you thought to ask them. That's all. Sorry.
Okay, so because we haven't tested our pilot tool yet, but yeah, we also expect that we will get those kind of problem and we will try to solve it one by one, especially using our responsive customer service so that we can retain a like good relationship with them and also try to solve it by giving them incentive like coupons or discount if they face those kind of problems. So this is what we can do.
Thank you. That is a nice presentation, and I think that is a nice business model as well. I have two questions. First one, do you have any experiences checking this business model with some other countries that they have done yet? And maybe you can learn from that, from their experiences, from their success. The second question is that you say that your customer does not believe that your vegetable, your meat is fresh and organic. So how can you improve your customer belief? And do you have the proper storage of those vegetable or meat that you can ensure that the quality of those still well?
Okay, so first of all, thank you for your previous recommendation. We really appreciate that. And for the concern that they have over the food quality, we trying to add the source of products. As you can see, the source of product like it is from this organic shop so that they can know that they are eating the organic vegetable instead of like Vietnamese vegetable. And we prepare to have an office or storage that we can prepare it when we buy it, the vegetable from the organic shop and then the meat from the local source as well. So we are making it more standardized. Thank you.
Good morning. And thank you very much for the presentation. And one quick question. What is the most important or priority of this business model? Meaning you start talking about people are busy, do not have enough time to think about what we can eat, and it's not easy to make a cook. And now in this last chat, you start saying revolutionize your home cooking experiences. So I still I'm not so clear about what is the highest priority in this model.
Well, thank you for your question. So actually, our really main target, or let's say our main purpose is that we want to have those who are busy and who cannot think of what to eat so that we can provide them some recommendation and then can deliver to them, something like this. But the word revolutionize your home cooking experience is that we combine those convenient ways of like buying it or consuming it, and we also like stress out to our like cooking channel so that they can watch to the cooking channel and then they can buy it in more modern way. So that's why we started revolutionize their cooking experience, because most of all traditionally they just go to buy at the supermarket, and when they go to the supermarket they don't know what to eat and they still think of it. So we revolutionize or update their cooking experience by doing that. So okay, thank you.
Hello, good morning. Yeah, it's quite a revolution for you to do that, not only because of COVID-19, but thinking of the future if in case people will be very busy. Now I have two questions to you. During your survey, the post and after, and you said about best, good things, bad, good things about your introduction of Peasant Box. Can you tell me what are those pain points or suggested improvement that you've encountered during those interviews and surveys?
Even from the customer, right?
Even with the customers, even with the competitors, or everywhere during the time that you would like to consider. The second one, since it is about products, I would like to relate to the question of the trader. It is about delivery, handling, delivery, storing of sensitive products, that is food. Have you considered looking at the regulation requirements and at the same time the preservation of the quality of the food that you are selling? What would be your actions to do if in case that there is a complaint that it's contaminated or what?
So the pain point after we are doing the survey is that, yes, they do face daily choices when they are getting tired from work, especially a busy professional, when they are getting like tired from work, and then it's already dinner time or lunch time, and then they don't have time to think of what to eat, or it's just like today you just go and then you just finish your work and then, oh, I'm hungry, but I don't know what to eat. And this is their pain point. They are busy, and then they also don't want to spend their mind thinking after a very long, tired of working days. And another thing is in terms of like storing, in terms of delivery, to make us like maintain the high quality of our product is still be our priorities. And we do think some of the process of it, but we are on the process of thinking more and more about it. So we need more time in order to make it. And we also need to ask from like our partner whether they can provide us some suggestion regarding to that food industry, so that we will earn more. And maybe like we just face one problem and then we solve it, and then we face another, and then we solve it later one by one, because there are so many problems, of course.
Okay. Thank you for your presentation. Back to your business model or business idea, but to me, maybe personally, it's really not new. Yeah. But what I'm looking for the creativities of your business model. You presented to us I think you can go back to slide, the complaint from customers. And I did not see how you improve or you solve these problems.
Oh, actually in here, they have concern about the product, the demand, and the distribution, and then we make the pivot to it or change to it by, in terms of product, we change from the creative recipe into the easy one. And then we also trying to make it like less expensive by seeking for partnership with one organic store, so that we can like have economies of scale, or we can buy it in the cheaper price and sell it in another cheaper price. And in terms of the in terms of the demand that they have concern over the food quality, we add this kind of sourcing, product sourcing, so that they know that where is that product is from that brand, and then they will like we can like earn more public confidence by that. And for the distribution, we already sold from deliver it by ourselves to Grab Express, our agents. Yes, that's all. So we are really thank you for your recommendations and idea. Yeah. If you do have any questions, you can ask us after this as well.
Thank you so much, Bess and Voss, for your wonderful presentation. Moving on to the next team for today, please welcome Stu Rep from NUM International College, PUC, and RUA. Thank you. may start your presentation.
We are from Sturak. Honorable judges, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to our business plan. In Cambodia, there are approximately 374,000 of opportunity scholarship. In Cambodia, there are approximately 334,000 of students who are aged between 17 to 22. This is believed to be the age range which is just right for Cambodian students to grab as much as opportunities as possible to challenge themselves and build the best version of themselves. According to the collegescholarshipstatistic.org, there are more than 1.7 million of scholarships that are provided worldwide, with a total cost of 7.4 billion US dollars. In Cambodia, there are 3.2 thousands of scholarships that are provided in Cambodia. Please do not confuse. The number that I've mentioned earlier are just the number of the provided scholarship. But if we take a look at the other opportunities as well, such as the competition, internships, and volunteering, with all of these opportunities combined together, there are many, many opportunities for the students to choose from in order to challenge themselves, get themselves out of their comfort zone, and build the best version. With the provided opportunities, we could say that there are so many delicious, tasty, expensive food out there that are waited for students to grab. However, the question is that, where are the students? Why are they keep on having the same people joining and competing in events?
So we start making an assumption of that lacking of information. It starts with giving up to pursuing dreams. So by doing that, we are going to test our assumption, we get out the building to test with 70 in-person interview with our student and plus around 200 online survey. We got to know that after we analyze our customer, what is the real pain point between our finding opportunity. So we got to know that our assumption was completely wrong. It's not about lacking of information, but it's about overloaded. It means that social media nowadays is overloaded and messy on it. So student will, because of overloaded, it will lead students to having lack of correct and feeling lost. So that's why we create Sturak.
So with Sturak, we aim to inspire more opportunities grabbers and to create more human resources in Cambodia. Regarding our value proposition, we aim to help the students fight through the barrier of getting lost during their application searching process. So we plan to provide them a very convenient search engine which students could conveniently fill in the information about who they are. For example, like their GPA, their grade, where they are from, what types of opportunities they are seeking for, whether it is a competition, an internship, a volunteering, or whatever. And then the list of unwanted information will just be eliminated and leaving the students with the information that they really want. So for the second value proposition, we want to help the students to fight through the obstacle of having lack of courage. So we will be providing useful videos, creative videos, and podcasting to help the student build their confidence and providing tips. And we will also be providing one-on-one mentorship to students so that the students could ask for direct questions and direct advices from the alumni who has already gotten the opportunities. And we will also have Sturak Community. So what is Sturak Community? Sturak Community is also an online platform which we created it to gather the students and the professionals together so that the students could ask for each other advices and experience, and then we could also build connection in our Sturak community. Regarding our customer segments, the people that we are targeting are the students who aged around 17 to 22 who are seeking for opportunities to grow, but somehow they are facing the problem because they need proper guidelines and they don't know what to do first and so on. And we're also targeting the companies who cares about the education. They are big fans of educations, and they involved in corporate social responsibility, and that they are able to provide us grant and or somehow is interested into displaying their advertisement, business advertisement on our platform. Revenue stream. So at first, we thought that we could gain the revenue from the student subscription. However, after talking to 30 people, 60% of the students are not willing to pay at all. So, and after our talk to Ms. Sun Sawan, who is a co-founder of Atomy and Test.B, so Test.B is also an online platform which is doing a similar business as ours. She stated that it is really tough for her to find revenue, to find student subscription at the first place. So right now, we decided to do a second pivot. So we are no longer expecting revenue from the student subscription. However, we are expecting grants and advertisements. So after our talk to Her Excellency Ms. Raiborapat, who is the Secretary of State of the Ministry of Commerce, Mr. Lee Bonchai, the Deputy Director General of Belty Group, Dr. Oknya Kuit Meng Lee, who is a Chief Executive Officer of Meng Lee Che Kuit Education, they really support our business, and they think that if we can launch it and make it become a reality, it will be best, and it will provide a lot of social impact to our society.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's come to my part that is about key results. So, after we get an interview so far, we got to know that the first, our customer is about engagement on social media. So we're gonna build a social media that start to engage first, and then we link them to our website. So here's the prototype of our website that you can see here. We have built the prototype here that students can usually use search engine to narrow down the information. We have the podcast community that they can look on there. So more than that, we also have the app journey. It means that it's under development. We already built the prototype. So because we are startup, we need more validating. So this is our future journey for the app that you can see here. So more than that, we have talked to Mr. Bieltier, that is the founder managing director of Omo Hub, that he has experience in volunteerism. He also supports our idea, and he said that if we could reach the limit and could build a convenient platform, he could be our partner that put the program that he has. The next thing is about we also talked to Mr. Tan Sivota, that is a co-founder of Idon KH, that he said that he has the same goal to build the future of Cambodia. So he's gonna be our partners. Last but not least, we also talked to Mr. Moon Sok Leng, that is the secretary of FUSAC. So he said that he could be contact the alumni to be a mentor on our platform because it is a social business. So yes, this is our key partner. As you can see on here, like we have school, we have the alumni, we have the Edon KA, that is an educational platform. So more than that, we not just talk to an organization, we have talked to many alumni that have passed the scholarship. So due to the time limitation, I raised only one, that Mr. Guisu support, that is a global Korean scholarship. At the first slide, he said that he really loved that idea because during her generation, he faced a lot of problems to find the scholarship. But now he see that he really happy because he expect that the new generation of Cambodia are not going to face the messy information like her. And he could state that he could be on our platform to be the mentor because he passed the scholarship. He want to pay back to society. So this is the final product of our business model canvas. So with Storak, we together to build the future of young generation.
Thank you.
So this is our thing. Thank you.
Was given all the existing information out there, as you said, what would make your platform stand out, and how do you plan to communicate this as the premier channel for students to find information?
So actually, there are many scholarship agencies that spread the opportunities as well in Cambodia, but we find ourselves unique because we have something that those agencies haven't had yet. So in Cambodia, the scholarship providing agency do not have this kind of platform yet. So what makes us stand out is that we help students narrow down the information that are not necessary and leaving them the information that they really want and fit them. That is the point.
And more than that, we also have the UNEC is about student community. It means that it's student on our platform, so they can gain and grab the opportunity at the same time. So for example, it's like the one person that passed the scholarship and she talked about the road or the journey to talk that, and the people who looking for that, they can gap and talk about that. Or another one is they pass to the interview stage and they don't know how to prepare for next. So there is a community for them to talk and grab the experience. Thank you.
So maybe just to rephrase my question, so this is what you plan to develop, but a large part of it will be how do you plan to communicate it to the student segment that this is what will really help you, this is what you should be using instead of finding the different information channels. So my question was more around the communication aspect.
Yes, thank you for the question. Actually, in short, we would like to think of us, the student team, as the Google, the search engine of scholarship, of opportunities. So in short, the concept of browsing around and being overloaded with information on Google and other platforms is not in our app or website. So we would like to think, like we mentioned before, we would like to think that we are the Google of opportunities and we are where opportunities gather.
So I would add on him as you see that how can I gather the student on our platform. So first we start with a social media that engage and we go to talk to the school so the school can encourage the student on our platform. More than that, we have talked to many organizations like K8 that is an online education platform, or like the volunteerism like Mr. BLG. So they said that they will be on our partner in the future if we would make a convenient platform like that. Thank you.
Hi, thanks for the presentation. So you're saying you're the Google of opportunities. So in Google, you kind of know what you're looking for, right? But if I'm a student and I'm not quite sure what I'm looking for, how would you be able to solve that problem?
Yes, because of that sole reason, that is why we have, excuse me? Yes, that is why we have this function in our app. So say, for example, you are a grade 12 student in high school. So you come into our app and you input all your information, such as, what grade are you in and what scholarship you're looking for. Yeah, something like that. So we have this function built in our app. So it could make them, it would make them easy for students such as high school student or university student to search for the opportunities better.
So what you're saying then, if I'm grade 12, scholarship-wise, I'm looking to study abroad. So if all of us are students, we put in the same input, we get the same results. Is that what you're saying, or is there a unique, some type of algorithm in there to clearly identify my actual interest itself?
Yes, there will be algorithm behind our app. Say, for example, you are looking for a scholarship that would that the requirements would be like perfectly fit for you. So all those scholarships or opportunities will be displayed when you input all the information.
So actually, we also have extra events that the students could come and engage together, and they could even talk directly to us. Like, we could help them.
Okay, so one last question, sorry. So have you validated this piece of what you're suggesting? Have you gone out to a student and ask a student, what are you looking for, and are you able to manually gather that information and provide it for them? Have you done that?
Yes, actually we have to do this away. We can see that during the assumption we got to know that it's not about lacking of information, but it's about overloaded. And during that, we also...
No. I'm asking, it's not about the survey. I'm asking, have you gone out to the student, an actual student, and say, what are you looking for? And were you able to provide them that information, a concrete information?
So thank you for your question. For that, we also have talked to the student because they said that nowadays, because of like there are many platforms, as you know, that an agency that provide the scholarship or volunteerism or something, but it's still in the mess up. So they need someone to talk to during her application to get the experience in order to be resourceful to apply for that. Yes, thank you.
And that's based on both physical survey and online survey.
So I have a questions to clarify back to the communication question earlier. So during your validation and conversation with the customers, the students, have you also considered that probably the customers, your customer would be the schools, education institutions, rather than the students? Because have you ever thought that part of the validation? Because student might be the end users, but not the actual customer that you can sell this concept to. Have you thought of that during the process?
So actually, we have thought about that too. Like at first, we thought that the students could pay for us for our platform. However, after talking to the students, they seem to not willing to pay at all. So we've decided to make a test for like 2 years to see if the students like our platform or not, and are there many users or not. Like at the first 2 years, we want to increase the number of the users as much as possible, and then after having enough users, we will reconsider on that point, like whether we still keep on asking for grant and advertisement, or should we charge from the students.
Actually, we want to build this as a social business because we know that student is unable to pay for that. It's like, so we need to test more because that we want to have Cambodian to make them go to the prior futures, because like there are many students out there that not reach the opportunity to challenge themselves.
So just to clarify, so in your latest canvas under customers, students are still the main focus for you, not schools or business
Actually,
institutions?
schools are, but we also want to test with the students too. But at first, like what I said, I want to test with, I just want to go through with users first, because actually we are still afraid that the corporation or the companies might not know what we are doing, or they might think that, oh, it's not going to work or something like that. So we try to increase the users first. So once we get as much as users as possible, then we will have the power to talk to the corporation. That is what we believe. So as long as we could reach our users, we will reconsider whether to charge to the students or not. But I think, yeah, everybody, like the students, do not willing to charge for this sort of thing, and education should be free for everyone, right? So yeah, we will critically consider about these issues.
We strongly believe that everyone, regardless of their gender, their background, or where they come from, should have the right to access the information, such as the scholarships we mentioned. So we strongly believe in that. So does that mean we do not make any profit from individual customer? No, we just have different priority, and which is social impact.
Thank you for the good presentation this morning. And one question. What is the next step after grow you are talking about? For example, you are talking about the young generation, like ages between 17 and 22. After these opportunities they may get, what shall we do? What shall they do? For example, and I'm so happy to be here this year, because I'm one of the director of the Japanese Association in charge of the labor matters. We are discussing so many labor issues, skills and narratives. And then I really want to see the connection between these growth to be the success in business. Do you have any consideration about this?
Yes, actually we have a future plan on that. That's why we create Student community. So it means that if people pass the opportunity, that they are past that opportunity, they're still in our community to spread, to give their experience back to the young generation. And actually more than that, we think of like build more prototype on that to, because like we have a future journey like you talk, to keep them in our community for the young generation to improve.
So they could be our alumni somehow.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, team, for your wonderful presentation just now. Moving on with our agenda to our next team, I would like to invite students from ChemEd Business School to present their idea. Please welcome EcoFly. Thank you.
Greetings, judges, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know the Cambodian population will grow over 20 million people by 2030? This will lead to the increasing in waste because in Cambodia, 63% of waste are from food waste. Besides, the growth of population will also lead to the increasing in total meat demand, and we will need 63% of total meat production to feed everybody. However, we still cannot meet the demand because we still face a lot of several issues in Cambodian agriculture, such as lack of inappropriate nutrition fit for livestock, domestic livestock feed supplies, as well as the chemical fertilizers. As the pain point in the market, we also see that the farmer also face several challenges, such as livestock mortality, expensive animal feed, as well as the imported chemical fertilizers. So as you may see here, most of the Cambodian animal feed and fertilizer are imported from neighboring countries, which accounts for 70% of a growth rate and $300 million of imported annually. And in the worst case scenario, where the animal feed price is also keep increasing. And so, what is the future of sustainability? This will not make Cambodian agriculture move into the sustainable way. And so, how to be a sustainable? And that is why today, we, EcoFly, will bring the values. So how? We will be utilizing a type of insect by doing with the leftovers to reusing food waste and to convert into many valuable things. Are you curious what the fly is? So actually, that is called black sawyer flies. So actually, this type of fly is totally different from other houseflies because it doesn't bite, no diseases, and no noise. However, it is very powerful because the larva itself can eat food waste and can be a very good nutrition for animal feed and other fertilizers. Moreover, the waste of insect itself can also be converted into fertilizer and other compost purposes. So, here's the whole life cycle. Start from fly, hatch eggs, and then eggs become larva, and then larva will convert into flies again with a total of 45 days. So imagine in our daily life, when we require 10 kg of normal feed to feed our livestock, but with black soil fly larva, we only require 1.5 kg, which can also save both time and cost. So various news articles and even the United Nations are also recognize the value of these insects because this is the future sustainability.
Welcome to EcoFlight. Together, we turn food waste into nutrition. Over the past few months of operations, we have always been directed by our waste to value vision and mission. Our vision is to create a circular economy with all sustainable manner, whereas our mission is to raise an awareness about environmental concern and sustainability to the community. We also come up with our values. EcoFlight come up with 3 different values. First, we want to create a circular economy and sustainability as what has been stated in our vision and mission statement. Second, we also want to make the animal feed price more affordable and less expensive. Last but not least, we EcoFlight do care about the health of human and livestock. EcoFlight sells variety of products, including the dry lava, the live lava, the fertilizer, black soldier fly eggs, black soldier fly pupa. Last but not least, we also sell a normal animal meal. All of these products are rich in terms of nutrition with a very high level of protein contained inside the product. Ladies and gentlemen, EcoFlight also provide many services, including the bio-waste collection service. We will establish our own bio-waste collection service so that we can get the food waste from the restaurants, schools, and also local markets in order to feed our black soldier fly larvae. Also, we will provide a black soldier fly equipment installation to our farmers who want to raise black soldier fly on their own, so that they can take those black soldier fly larvae to feed their own animals. The production costs around $100 to $200 depending on the sizes and the preference of the farmers. We also want to encourage small-scale family businesses, so we will buy back the larvae from our farmers. Last but not least, we also provide trainings and workshops to our farmers on skills and techniques on how to maintain and raise black soldier fly. Currently, in Cambodia, there's no dominant player in the field yet. Most of our animal feeds are imported from other countries. The total animal feeds imports account for $150 million. Therefore, we EcoFlight would like to substitute some of the animal feed import with the locally produced one.
This is our business model. EcoFlight exists to have Cambodian farmers who have production on aquaculture, poultry, and livestock in order to improve their production more efficiently and effectively. As you might know, how valuable and impactful of black soldier fly into the community. So our customer could also bear all this value when using our products, because first, they are able to reduce the animal feed cost with a higher quality. Second, being a part of environmentally friendly campaign. And third, to contribute to the human health care in the circular economy. So for our major activity, we raise our own black soldier fly larvae by ourselves, and we sell it to the farmers. And then we also would like to build the black soldier fly community, where we can teach the farmers how to raise their own black soldier fly. So our business has been running smoothly because of our partner, because we collect the biofood waste from our partners who are the restaurant, the hotels, and also the fruit farms. We have Combat Business School as our financial support. However, during processing our business, we have faced some problems because all the larvae had died. So after meeting with our industry expert, she advised to separate the food waste constructively. So then we come up with a feed bin campaign that we supply our feed bin to the restaurant. And then we train them how to separate the food waste for us. So this will bring the value to the restaurant, where as nominated under the social responsibility with the customers. In order to accomplish this feed bin campaign, we also partner with Phnom Penh's art organization in order to promote this idea to the community. So we accomplished our production on the second time, following our revised model. Moving back to our missions, that we want to build the black soldier fly community. We went to Cambodia farm in Siem Reap in order to promote the idea of the circular economy to the farmers, and also the benefit of the black soldier fly insect to the farmers. And later on, we also have the household farmers who join us in building the black soldier fly equipment. So later on, we are able to set up all the service to other farmers as well. After the farmers start perceiving the value of our products, So our first customer are the domestic production farmers, and the second one is the poultry-focused production farmer. And lastly, we also got the farmers the owner of the rubber farm who has a large animal productions, and he acknowledged the value of the black soldier fly a long time ago. So he's willing to buy our product in the large scale in order to support his productions.
This is our initial startup cost. So our startup cost $3,000, which is divided into 3 major parts, including the production cost, marketing cost, and human resource. And during the first month of our operation, we project to get a revenues of $598 with a profit of $303, and the net profit margin is calculated to be 51%. And last but not least, our payback period is expected to be in 10 months.
So let's see about our plans. So in the future, we would like to scale up our business by developing into the waste collection center, and we will have increased more varieties of products. Moreover, we also increase our production center in different provinces such as Siem Reap, Kampor, or Sandwood. And we also looking for the byproducts. And to do so, we have the confidence that we, Ecofly, can leverage Ecofly brand to be Cambodian leading animal feed supply and fertilizers. So here's the photo with the founder of Insect Specialist. And so he actually very interested in our idea and hope that we, Ecofly, can be his business partner in the future. So that is all for our presentations. Thank you very much. So lastly,
go for circular economy.
Be the one you wish to change. Thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. Just because last year we had a team pitch, Jun Lane using earthworm and cow dung to make fertilizer. So I'm interested to know what inspired you guys to come up with a different form of fertilizer? I mean, because I know June Lane, she was very passionate about fertilizer. She's been doing it for several years. And then how is that different than, say, your fertilizer, and what inspired you to get into this business?
Yes, so basically as we start in the early, we see the problem serious issues in Cambodian local agricultures because we don't have a lot of domestic local supply of animal feed, and most of the animal feed and fertilizer are imported from neighboring countries. And we also see the increasing price of those animal feed and importing price. But we think that it is not make Cambodian local agriculture grow in a sustainable way. And that is why we come up with this idea by promoting the circular economy, so nothing go with waste anymore.
I also want to add up onto that. So basically, we see a lot of food waste problem in Cambodia. So that's why we want to address one of the main social issues happening in Cambodia and use those things to convert into fertilizers.
And well, my question is, because I don't know anything about the business, then how effective is this fertilizer? Because I know from the last year, Jun Lane was able to show us the growth rate of the vegetables, but has there been any market study or anything that's done in the market today that show the effectiveness of this fertilizer?
So actually, for our fertilizers, it's just one part of our productions. Because of this black soldier fly larvae, they have the black soldier fly insect. They have a full benefit, so that we just extract the dry larvae as the animal feed. So in here we have the fertilizers. In the fertilizer, we have some guaranteed analysis that has a protein of 46% for the bacterial and also the other nutritions for the fertilizers. Because actually these fertilizers is collected from the frass, the black soldier fly it already died in the whole life cycle of them. So all of these things, it can be made to the fertilizers.
And where did you get that data from? Is that scientifically proven somewhere, or where's that data from?
So actually, we have a lot of black certified varieties in various countries such as Singapore or Vietnam, and this also be approved by the United Nations FAO as well. Yes. So various organizations such as United Nations FAO also support the idea of this black certified because this contain a rich in protein source compared to other animal feed.
I also want to add up onto that as well. So basically, the level of proteins and other nutritions, like we get the statistics from the United Nations FAO and also other research that we conducted.
Hi, thanks for your presentation. It's quite very socially and environmental relevant. Now, if you will compare with other countries, that's being done already. Have you made a comparison on the experience they had in setting up these kinds of, Have you compared on their experiences how they struggled in introducing this kind of business? Have you compared with that? Do you have any comparison with other similar businesses?
So actually, we just do the comparative analysis to see whether the black certified is really competitive compared to other normal animal feed. So basically, as you can see here, we have different type of meat such as milk forms, poultry, or beef like this. So that is the range of how many days that they can feed to the livestock. But with black certified larvae, we just only need lesser time in order to feed the livestock to let them grow bigger and faster compared to other animal feed. So as I also showed during the slide, normally we use 10 kg of normal feed in order to feed the livestock. But with black certified, we only need 1.5 kg, and then we can produce the same as the conventional ratio.
I'm not comparing with the normal feeds. What I'm saying is, with the same business processes, introducing these processes of larvae and everything, and producing such kind of products, have you compared with other business that exist in other countries? You can see that in YouTube. You can find it everywhere, because they have already experiences in doing that. You have mentioned about a big ordering, probably sometimes a big requirement. So it means that it's being done everywhere already. It's not new. Okay. But what I'm saying is, during your study, during your survey, or during your analysis, have you compared with their successes and failures?
Yes, thanks for your question. That is a very good question. So before starting our production, we have already conducted research about other farms that raise the black certified as well. But since our production is on a small scale, we don't have a big production. So we have a lot of difficulties. So the first thing is that the problem that we raised up is all of our black certified larvae died because we didn't know on how to separate the food waste. Because, for example, food waste, they have so many different type of food waste. The oil, the chili one, the stuff like that. So we just mixed them together, and it resulted all of our black certified larvae die. But after consulting with our industry specialists, so they also advise us to separate the food waste correctly. So that's why on our feed bin prototype, we have the stickers that stick on what waste should go inside. Yeah, and also we don't have enough capital to make a big production, so we start slowly, and we also gain a lot of customers already, and we also partner with a few restaurants. And it's very hard to contact them because we're on a small scale. So they target something of bigger one, but we're on the small scale, so every time we negotiate with the restaurants, the hotels to get the food waste, they think we're trying to promote something, to sell something to them, so they're not really interested. So in terms of negotiation, it's very hard.
So how do you convince them, other than the quality and of course the being organic or something like this one, considering the commercial value of the products that you're selling, how do you convince them to really buy from you or,
So basically, actually our customers are the farmers. So because of our product is in the agriculture sectors. And for our first customers, they support our products because what they said to us is that naturally chicken eat worms. So he's so surprised, and this is what we gained the impressive sentence from them, because they said that yes, naturally chicken eat worms, but why is everyone making them to be like the animal feed and other else, and right now you guys can make the worm for them, or instead of us we call it larvae or larva. So we supply those larvae to that chicken, to their chickens. So this is what we convince them. So this is what we also we got all the sentence from them. And after that, because moving to the benefit of our products, this one we also explain to them or convince them the benefits, the insight benefits of our black sodium fly. In here, the total cost of the black sodium fly, they only spend around $6 in order to produce a specific amount of their production, animal production. Whereas the soybean meal or animal feed bean meal, they have to spend like around $10. So here it is the comparisons that the farmers, they can do the benchmark of to outweigh the value of our black sodium fly.
And the first thing I would like to illustrate is that when we use the normal animal feed to feed the chicken, and we use our own black sodium fly to feed the chicken, as you may see on the photo here, we can see the real chicken, how much chicken love the black sodium fly larva compared to the normal animal feed. Because naturally, chicken love to eat like the live insect like worm or something, but with black sodium fly larva, it contains a very high proteins compared to those kind of meal. So that is the reasons that farmer would like to catch up with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, EcoFly, for your amazing presentation and showing us your wonderful products. Next, I would like to invite our next student team from University of Health and Science and NUM International College. Please welcome Find Me Doc. Thank you. Judges, are you ready? Team, you may start your presentation now.
Good morning and good morning to the judges. And first of all, I would like to pay my respects to everyone here who has come today. Me and my team, we have come up with a business idea called Find Me Doc. And this is our team. My name is Sun Lai Ming. I'm from NUM International College and IFL.
I'm Virika from University of Health Sciences.
I'm Dawin from NUM International College.
And this is our mentor, Miss Ilita. And this is our agenda for today. So for now, I would like to draw your attention to see the inspiring story behind these creations. Personally, this happened to my grandma recently. She fell on the floor and immediately dislocated her arm. So after going to the hospital, we spent half of the day waiting for the doctor, and it turns out he's not specialized in bone. So we have nothing to do but to wait for another day. So after going to the hospital, my grandma, she suffered a lot, and I can still remember vividly how hard is it for her to actually find the right doctor. And not to mention about the COVID-19 situation, which is the current situation that we all are facing, and especially to the elder people. So here are the hypothesized problems that our team have come up with. Firstly, it's a long waiting line. Second, it's hard to find a trustful doctor. Next one, it's risky to wait during this situation, and also hard to find certain medicines. So how can we solve these problems? Our team have come up with a mobile application platforms which called Find Me Doc, and it has several functions as you can see. And later on, my team will further explain about this. So the main purpose behind this creation is because we want to provide a better medical experience to the public, so that later on Cambodia will become a society with a healthier citizens.
So this is our journey. First, So first we have our initial idea, and then we got out of the building to test and study our project. And we found out there are many mistakes, many errors, and we have to pivot numerous times in order to end up with our current concept, Find Me Doc. So we got out of the building and interviewed about 30 medical professional and potential customer. Also, we did a virtual questionnaire and received around 110 responses. We even went further and interviewed Mr. Long Sarun, Director of IT Department from Ministry of Civil Service, and Mrs. Long Pisopia, a second-year information technology student from AUPP, to validate our app detail. We also built an interactive prototype so people can play around with. So every time we interviewed people, we asked them to test out the app, and they show great interest in it. We also asked people in our survey how likely are they going to use it if it exists, and we received almost 100 positive responses. So this is our original canvas. Let's go to a key partner. We want to partner with the Ministry of Health of Cambodia, Medical Council and Association, as well as payment solution providers such as Bangloi. This is our original plan. First, we want to link patient to doctor, allow them to book online appointment, hold online consultation, link patient to nurse, allow them to call ambulance, and buy and deliver drug. So we asked people to list common problems while accessing medical care. And we received a lot of responses, but there are 5 popular answers. So had to find reliable doctor, long waiting line, medical expenses high, fear of meeting uncertified medical expert, and ineffective treatment. This means that our hypothesized problem number 1 and 2 proved to be correct. However, problems such as transportation, COVID pandemic, and the last 3, which is related to medication, we didn't receive much vote, which means that it is a problem, but it is not common. So number 3 and 4 is incorrect. So we have no choice but to eliminate those services that doesn't need immediate response. We come up with 2 new features, which is medical discussion forum, where people can talk, discuss, and ask about medical-related topic, and other user can give their opinion, and and our user can receive reliable advice from doctors on our platform. We also wanted to include an online data storage to help doctors keep their record. However, after an interview with Dr. Tet Hong Yuen, founder of Rumchang Dental Hospital, he expressed a deep concern about patient confidentiality, because he is not the only one who mentioned this point. Other doctors and medical students that we have interviewed also expressed the same concern. Because when it comes to medicine, patient information is very sensitive, and it is a risk that startup like us couldn't afford. So we also change our direction, cross it out, and only focus on linking patient to doctor and our medical discussion forum. For our key resources, we have our software engineer, human resource, financial person, and marketing person. For our propositions, so with the wide and tool path for public user, FindMeDoc is a reliable source of medical information, and it is convenient because it saves time, money, and energy. For doctors, however, it increased their brand awareness.
So this is our customer segmentations. At first, our initial idea, FindMeDoc, mainly focused on customer who's from the cities with a middle age and a good living standard. So in total, we have our potential customer, which is about 1.6 million people. But after discussing with Mr. David from Mekong Strategic Advisor, we realized that we were totally wrong. It's because our problem is that the customer is not the patient, but our customer is the doctor, since they are the one that we actually get the money from. So we pivot our idea from this to that. And right now, FindMeDoc, we mainly concentrate on private physicians such as doctors and dentists who practice their own profession privately. So in total, we have about 6,364 doctors.
So now let's moving on to talk about the customer relations. We want to connect to our customer by our advertisements, promotion, and the last one is medical article and tips in our mobile apps. For our channel, we divide it into two parts. The first part is about the doctor, who is our customer, and the second one is the patient, who is our users. For doctor, we plan to reach to the doctor by pitch, network referrals, association, and communities. If you're looking at to the patient, who is our users, we will reach to the users by our mobile app, which is FindMeDoc, Facebook page, as well as the Instagrams and advertisements. Cost structures here, we have been listed down 5 main cost structures, such as app development and maintenance fee, office supply, rental and utility costs, employee salary. The last one is on marketing. Revenue stream is the last point on our business canvas, and this is the initial idea of our revenue stream. The first one is users and doctor pay monthly subscriptions and in-app ads. After we getting out of the building to interview with about 20 of our potential customers, they all are satisfied with our service, but they don't really happy to pay us as the monthly fee. So we need to eliminate it out from our revenue streams. We also go to meet with the doctor and nurse at Bang Chuk Dental Clinics. They all love our business idea, but for the doctor pay monthly subscription, they did not want us to charge from them as like that. So we need to eliminate the doctor pay monthly subscription out from the revenue stream as well. In the next, we go to Praketok Mili Hospital to meet with Dr. Leng Bunthun and Dr. Lon Vithi, as well as the owner of Romchang. And what they suggest us is to charge from the doctor as the commissions. So in overall, the final revenue stream from us is 5% commission rate, which is the suitable number for doctors and also us as the owner. Increase doctor exposure with app and in-app ads for medical suppliers. After we get all of the ideas with the final revenue stream, we go to meet the doctor at Whole Worldwide Health Center and also the nurse at there as well. They all appreciate and agree with our final revenue stream. This is the overall of our final business model canvas. The third part is our futures. In the futures, we plan to grow with our goal by providing the online consultations, medical supply marketplace, health mentor, specialist referral system. We have the solutions, we have the passions, and what we don't have is the support, especially the finance support. FindMeDoc needs your support to exist and grow.
We're innovating and transforming how Cambodia approach medical health system. We do not only help patients, but also help doctors to increase their income as well. and we aim for a healthier society as a whole. With Find Me Doc, help is always on the tip of your finger. Thank you.
Thanks for the good business plan, the good business model. I have two questions. As you know, health is a very critical one, and especially when you think you could not identify who is the specific doctor or the specialist who we should to. That's why we found that trusted doctor or trusted specialist is hard to find in Cambodia as well. That's why most people they fly to overseas for the health. So my question is, the first one, how do you identify the specialist and how to link between the user and to the specialist to make sure they could find the real problem of the patient? The second one is, how are you going to build the customer trust and convince them to use your app?
Thank you, judges, for your two questions. Now I will show you my prototype. So first of all, we have also thought about the problem that you have addressed it, that in Cambodia, sometimes it's hard to trust, sometimes even if you go to the clinic, you're not sure whether he's a qualified or certified doctor or not. So in our app, we have a function where you can read doctor's background. So let's say I am interested in bone doctors, and I click on her name. So there's a place where I can read her educational background, where she graduated, and see her work experiences. And I think that's a good enough proof to validate whether a doctor is qualified or not. We also do, check proof before adding them into our system. For second question, for building trust.
So for the second question regarding to that, we're focusing on building our marketing strategy. So in total, we have 3 target market: doctors, patient, and the one who actually gonna to download our app is our teenager. So for doctors, we plan to do a conference at the hospitals, such as private and public doctors, so that they will be more aware of our products and our services. And for elderly people, we plan to do a Facebook advertisement. And however, for the one who actually gonna download our app, let's say our grandchildren, our children, so we plan to do the advertisements by hiring an influencer to get their attentions.
I also want to add, so we've also talked with some people working in Dental Council of Cambodia, and actually people with authority, and they said that in the future they might, afterward we might cooperate with them, and by having someone with authority or someone that people can trust, maybe they can trust us as well.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
So I'm sure you talk to a lot of doctors doing
Yes,
these validations. So from your conversation with all of them, how do you see their view on this app? Because doctors are mainly full-time, they're not freelancers, but they have to be on the app, on your app, to receive all the calls, chat, and appointments. Are they willing to be on your platform, during their work time or during the specific time that you've assigned?
We've talked with lots of doctors. They said they're happy. First of all, they find it innovative, the way we approach making our medical system more accessible, and they said they're willing to do it because even if without Find Me Doc, every day they're doing it. Like they have Facebook page and they reply to questions and answers, so it's almost the same way. And also, when we link patient to doctor, we're actually linking our system to their schedule. So they don't have to actually respond to it right away. We can use technology to help us. Also, for chat, we want to first direct them to our chatbot. Try to make it simplify, like they have lots of questions, so we try to use technology to make it simple to the point where we need specialist or doctor to clarify, then we direct them to a physical person.
Okay, so just to add up on that point, actually we can say is that our missions and our vision is to have the health in our society get more easier. So the doctor is also planned to cooperate with us because it can make our patients or the user be more convenient.
Thank you. I have 3 questions and comment. The first one is that you say that in your platform here you can design. They can discuss in the forum. They can meet the doctor. And do you identify that they might need in Khmer or not only in English? This is one. Maybe the second question is that why you identify only the age from 25 to 54, which I think that the age over than that also need your service as well, or maybe under than that. So the range of the age must be your specific audiences. So you should be clearly identify your target audiences. And the third question is that you said that 5% commission, right? So how can you charge that? Once the doctor get a patient, or once they subscribe into your platform or whatever. Yes.
Okay, so thank you for your 3 questions. For the first question, you asked about the discussion forum. Now I know about the language, right? Yes. Thank you. So our app right now, it is available in 2 languages, English and Khmer, because we understand that in Cambodia, language skill is still limited, and especially for old people, Khmer is better for them. So we're trying to build English and Khmer for now. And for discussion forum, can I have your second questions again?
The question is about the 25 to 54 age range. So yeah, you have addressed the Khmer language in the platform, which I think is very useful for people in Cambodia, and why the age is from 25 to 54.
So to answer that question is, to answer that question, at first our initial idea is mainly focused on elder people, because elder people are the one who get sick the most. It's the natural things. But after discussing with several of our mentor and meeting with our potential customer, we found out that the one that we target is not only elder people, but people who are under that age or maybe older that age, just like what you have said. So we're planning to do that by making and improving our market strategy, just like what I mentioned before. First of all, for the teenager, we want to improve by having the influencers. And for the elder people, we plan to do a business advertisements.
I would like to add, so we do not target older people because this app required basic use of technology, and I think above 50 to 70 or upper, they might not be able to use the app. So it's actually their children or their younger family member who help them.
No, my mom over 60, she can use the app as well. So I think it's maybe in the current context, people is are more familiar with the app. So I think the best that we design, we can expand the range of the people.
Yes. Your mom is a very modern mom, and but yeah, lots of old people now are familiar with technology. But in Cambodia, look at it at bigger scope, not much. But there are certain old people who are, quite familiar with technology. That's what I'm saying. So yeah.
Just to add up on that, thank you for your recommendations. We think that it is good if we can expand it, but in the case that we can also, the old mom or old grandpa, grandma, they also can let their children or their relative to book appointment by our app as well.
Yeah, so for first step, we first target who we can, have bigger chance of reaching, and then we can expand it in next step. So for now, just within this age range.
And for me, it's just one question. Thank you for this, because that app is more required than me, younger than you. This one question. It's good that you learn from your mistake, that you change your strategies when you realize who is your customer. when you go out of the building and meet medical practitioners, what is the most challenging problem or concern that you have identified?
So for us, the most challenging problem is our key activities, because when we first proposed the idea, we want to offer a lot of services, but then after going out and ask people from online survey also, people the response is kind of like, oh, what you thought was a problem is not a problem at all. So to us, so what's the point if we thought this is a problem and we're trying to fix it, but it's actually not a problem? So after interviewing, we keep on asking people and reaching out. We found out that, okay, what we thought was a problem, like we mentioned 4 points, right? But half of it is not really a problem, but still we have 2 and we're trying to improve that. Yeah, so for us, that was the biggest problem, because what we're trying to fix, we found out that it's not a problem. But we pivot on time, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Faimi Doc, for your wonderful presentation. Next, I would like to invite team from RUPP, Rule, and National University to come on stage and present their idea. Please welcome Bong Snack. Judges, are you ready? Okay, guys, you may start your presentation.
Good morning, Judge, and good morning, everyone. My name is Saso Malan, a co-founder of Bong Snack. Bong Snack believes that good food brings a good life, and it is a reason why we are here. We, Bong Snack, a healthy snack startup, we focus on making wholesome and healthy products by using our local ingredients. And the highlight point is we deploy clean energy in our processing to dry fruit, nut, and vegetable. And recently we produced banana energy ball, which are on your desk right now. We have 2 flavors, banana chocolate and banana cinnamon. And Judge, please enjoy testing our Bong Snack. And a story beyond Bong Snack is that I was born in a farming family. We grow banana and mango. And as a smallholder farmer, we face many challenges that lead our beautiful crop spoilage. Based on our research showing that possible loss in Cambodia is an average between 20 to 40%. And it is coming from 1, oversupply. 2nd, is unpredictable produce. And the most important thing is lack processing. And it is a big problem for us. However, in this problem, we see an opportunity that can make this situation better. Is to value added our fresh produce. And another value that we bring to the market is to serve an increasing Cambodian consumer who concerned about their health and wellness with a better snack option. And this is our original value chain. At that stage, our flow is we purchase small-scale solar dryer and we distribute it to smallholder farmer. And when farmer buy the dryer, they become our business partner. As our business partner, we will work closely with them, do contract, and purchase the dry material back with the reasonable price. And we do our own processing recipe, packaging it, and sell to the market. And in the first business model, we have 2 main products. First one is small-scale solar dryer, and the second one is healthy snacks. For small-scale solar dryer, our consumer segment, they are smallholder farmer, and for the healthy snack, they are office people who have income $500 off. And the next slide will show you how we commit to validate our initial business idea into the real context. So we went to visit solar dryer at Royal University of Agriculture. We met Professor Boraran and he explained a lot about the technology of the solar dryer. And at the same time, we went to meet smallholder farmer in Angkoche village, Kanda province, to interview them about the problem they face and at the same time show them about the solution that we have. And luckily we got an early adopter who willing to be our business partner. For more than 6 months that we test with the technology with them and we find out that the first version of our dryer is not working well. So we validate to the second version that we add temperature control and unluckily it is still not working well in the rainy season. So it is the reason why we have to upgrade it to a solar hybrid model that can use both in rainy season and dry season. And we are now in the process of studying about this model. And the next important slide, our team will present it.
So there are two main big lessons that we learned from the first validations. First is that it is not a right time for us to sell small solar dryer to farmers. So what we focus right now is to purchase fresh produce from farmer and we the one who own drying and processing it. Secondly, our solar dryer need to be upgraded to be hybrid in response to rainy seasons. Based on this validation, we have updated our business model. Currently, we focus on our healthy snack. And our target consumer is a group of young professionals who work in Phnom Penh. They earn more than $500 per month. They are concerned about their health and wellness. They are also interested in sport activity. So what we actually doing right now? We don't run away from our farmer, but we still work closely with them. We purchase fresh banana from farmer in Kedah province. And at the same time, we also work with one cashew nut community in Kampong Thom. We buy the fresh produce, we dry it, we processing recipe, we pack it, and we market it to 3 different sales channels. We sell directly to consumer through our networks and online. Secondly, to retail store. Last but not least is in the gift catering event and conference. Speaking of product innovation or development, we have been develop our product from a basic dry banana that you can find in the market to become a unique nutrition and energy banana bowl as you try at the moment. Speaking of packaging, we also looking for eco-friendly, at the same time provide a convenience to our target consumer as well. And it is the latest versions. Being a startup, it's not only about working with our innovation or development in our product, but the most important thing is to get a feedback from our target consumer. What we have been done so far, we tested our product almost 6 months in the market and we get a lot of positive feedback from our consumer. And it's such a big motivation for us to move forward. Recently, Wongsna also have an opportunity used as a special gift to honorable guests as well. Judge, ladies and gentlemen, we see an opportunity to grow this business, even though in a local market. However, to gain this market share, it needs a lot of improvement internally. What we need to do is to improve our production capacity. Secondly, to work with our target consumer, to build a brand loyalty, consumer relationship with them, to understand how we can serve them better. Last but not least, to diversify our distribution channel, to make it easy and convenient to our consumer to access it, to try it. Judge, ladies and gentlemen, to start this startup, it costs about $70,000. But the good news, after testing the business and analyzing the financial, we see an opportunity to break even in the second year. Judge, ladies and gentlemen, we believe that we can make a difference in food industry. This is because of our team background and diversity. We are from different backgrounds, but we have the same passions to make a positive impact in our society. I'm Sotia. I'm holding a Master of Global Food and Agricultural Business. I also experience in market research, product and enterprise development. Malan graduated from environmental science. She experienced leading a service business. We also have a genius team member who have extensive research experience in food science and technology. Last but not least is about stock and finance staff is Cheng. She also experienced in inventory and stock management. And we believe that this value that we bring to the business, we can make a great impact to society. Judge, ladies and gentlemen, join us, join Bonsnak to make a different story in our food industry. And if you are interested to follow our work, want to purchase the product, just follow our Facebook page. Please make an order now. Tomorrow we can deliver to your door. Thank you so much.
Well, I think I have some question because this is maybe having a chance to ask beside the other judge as well. So really interesting for this business model, and thank you so much for bringing the local product into another value added for that, and really appreciate for that. But my question over here is, have you ever done for testing or negotiating with the other, to align with your growth strategy? Have you done any discussion or negotiation with the other distribution channel, like the other supermarket itself or the other e-commerce platform, to grow your market shares on that? Thank you.
Thank you so much for the questions. So as a startup, what we do right now to focus on our early adopter, Bonsnak, it's kind of new eating experience. When we're talking about dry fruit, Cambodian consumer prefer to a basic dry banana. And what we do right now is to engage with our target audience, who is a young professional, people who earn more than $500 per month. So what we do right now is we reach out to our network who work in office space. Because many young professionals right now are concerned about their health, looking for a better local product as well. So our strategy is to use a mouth-of-word marketing, because we believe that the local momentum could bring a difference. We still work, our next strategy also work with the conference event, because we also connect with different office space that they organize events such BMC or Energy Lab. They have different conference or event almost every month. So what we do, we try to put our product as a snack or gift event to them. So it is how we do a marketing strategy. At the same time, we also give an opportunity to our target consumer to get exposed with our product. To respond with your question, have we ever talked to retail store? We have talked to Super Duper. We also email and then have a lot of negotiation. Being a startup, they ask a lot of questions with us. Have you registered your business yet? Have you have a barcode or not? And how long will you stall it? And what margin could you provide to me? So it is an opportunity to learn from them as well. What is the obstacle for us to move forward? That's why we come to this event, because we want this business is not only idea. We want to make it as legal business. We want to get approved from, to have a recognized certificate to show that this product can be distributed easily into convenience store. The strategy that we go into convenience store, it's not every convenience store we will sell to them. We don't sell to them, but we will identify where the convenience store located. We always focus on office people, because we believe that if we know who we're gonna serve, who we're gonna bring value to them, it is a good strategy for a startup to move forward. So
To to add up on this point, actually strategically, for the first year, we focus only we mainly focus on the direct sale because we are startup, we don't have my capital. So what we have is to sell it and then get cashback, and then we can get produce the next cycle. So what we have to do right now, we mostly 60% for the first year, 60% focus on direct sale through our network and online, and another 30% is sell as a gift in the catering event, and 20% is what we are planning to do next is to sell as a retail store.
Actually, it kind of follows on from Tita's question about testing the market. What I didn't get from your presentation is cost-wise. I mean, you've got a lot of competition. I mean, at the end of the day, you're a health food snack, and there are a lot of health food snacks on the market. It's a big, big industry. So you're competing with every other provider of health food snacks. So where are you in terms of price? Are you expensive? Are you cheaper than everybody else? What separates you from all the other health food snack products out there?
Actually, the cost of our product we sell is $3.25 per pack with 10 balls inside the pack.
And is that competitive? Can I go to and get another product just like yours for cheaper than that in the market in Cambodia, or are you cheaper than?
Yes. Actually, before we set the price, we already do the market research and observation. And actually, right now in Cambodia, they don't have exact the same like us. They have dry banana, dry mango, but just the dry without any processing like us. So, and also the price that we set, it is strategically based on our cost of goods sold, operation cost, and we find out that this price is the price that can make our business survive in the very long term.
In addition to that, we see an opportunity that we can lower down the cost as well when we scale up our productions. And what is the new value that we bring to the market? It's also helped us to become a premium product as well. It's a new eating experience that you can't find local product like this in category of drying fruit. We see, actually, if we look at yesterday, I went to Supporter again. I see a product import from Australia. It's an energy ball as well. It's quite similar this, and it costs about $3.80 to $5, which means that we produce locally and we source a natural resource. We know where it's from, how it cooked, how it processed, and it's still a really good price point compared to exactly the same imported product.
And actually, it's just only 6 balls in the pack. But we have 10, so we are cheaper, and we can guarantee that we provide with the high quality material because we know the sauce that we use. We use the sauce that produced by the local people, smallholder farmer. They are traditionally grow it, so they don't use any fertilizer, and also other material. We believe that good raw material will produce the good product for our lovely customer.
Okay. So you're selling this as an energy snack. Is there anything that's scientifically proven that if I eat a couple of these balls, I'll have the energy? I mean, is there any kind of data behind that? 2, what is the lifespan of this package? If I put it out in the store, how long can I keep it? And then if I open it, how long would it last in terms of once I open the package?
Thank you so much for the question. I would like to ask for the life of our product. Actually, we are now not yet testing it at ILCC, but we test it by our own set, and we have our team that's the expert in this, and we find out that it can last for 6 months. And for the nutrition?
Actually, for the nutrition value for the product, we focus on one is because of our raw material is banana. As we know that banana, according to our research, banana have a lot of energy, potassium and fiber. It contains 2.2 milligram 100 gram of banana. And another thing is the peanut. As you know that the peanut is, the cashew nut. The cashew nut is for the nutrition, and they have the like essential oil for the people that like have the problem with leg also.
To end up with this is the next step that we have to do in the future, and we believe that being part of BMC, it is an opportunity for us to complete this activity and to be able to test our product in the office lab.
Sorry, I'm getting excited to ask questions, so can I ask one more question? For this bowl, you do it as a handmade, or you use the machine to make it?
Right now, we do it as a handmade.
Yeah, that is what I'm just concerned, because the handmade need to be clean, and I mean transparent to the customer. Or may you can show the process of production to your customer as well. This is just my recommendation, maybe the part of your business. And the second recommendation, the way that you can reduce the cost. One is the economic of scale. Once you produce more, and then the cost go down. And the second one, you may change the design of the package, and then you can try to reduce the cost. And also the profit margin is a bit large, and then maybe at this time you can produce the profit margin as well. So your product become very competitive in the market.
Thank you so much for recommendations and suggestions. Right now, we have been established our SOP to understand the good manufacturing practices, and then the HACC as well. So we want to make it become a startup business. And in relations to the packaging, we will consider on that as well, because when we want to process it or place it as a premium product, we will might variety our product line as well. Speaking of margin, why we put this margin? Because we will register our business and we will pay tax to the government. And we don't want to be a business that run away from the government. We want to support each other. That's why we put in this.
Guys, sorry, your time's up.
Thank you so much, Josh, and everyone.
Thank you so much, Long Snack. You guys didn't give me any snack. So thank you so much for your wonderful presentation and for sharing your snacks with our judges. Next up, I would like to invite students from University of Batisastras. Please welcome Meet Doctor. Thank you. Judges, are you ready? Okay. You guys may start your presentation now.
Raise your hand if you ever got sick before in your lifetime. Great. All right, so potential customer. All right, so my doctor found many problems in healthcare system in Cambodia. And as we can see, people find it very hard to meet good doctor, and people find it hard to access to doctor. And the numbers show the ratio of doctor to patient is so big. Like one doctor serve almost 5,000 population in Cambodia, comparing to our neighboring country, Thailand. One doctor serve around 1,000 doctor only. Patients, sorry. And another issue is about the unequal distribution between specialized doctor in Phnom Penh and provinces. So what we learned from the bad COVID-19 situation in Cambodia, Meet Doctor found a solution by creating the online platform, helping patients get access to doctor easier. And then we come up with the first hypothesis that all patients need to see all type of doctors. So we provide the online video consultations. So we tested the hypothesis by conducting the first pilot for online video consultation with medical students. We got 13 medical students on board, and then we provided 13 video consultation within 2 months. And the tested result show that young population really need this kind of service, potentially skin patients. But there's some issue after interviewing with doctor, because some doctors said it's so hard to do a physical examinations by just seeing the patient's face. And some doctors said we need pictures. Some doctors said the internet is not really good. And then we thought, oh, maybe there's a problem. But we interviewed with the patient side. They said they very satisfied. They would recommend it to their friend and family to use it for the next visit. And then we changed the customer segment from all types of patients to NCD's patients. NCD patient mean non-communicable disease, such as hypertension, diabetes, or skin problems. And then also, because doctor said they need a picture, they need a good quality of internet, so we provide online chat consultations. And then we tested the hypothesis. We got 17 doctors on board, and then we provided 47 chat consultations during the pandemic, and it happened just 50 days. And this is the tested result. We can see that the age range between 18 to 35 really interested in this platform, and most of them live in Phnom Penh. And the same as the previous pilot, we can see skin patient use our platform. So it's a high demand for skin patients. And then we conducted the interview at the doctor's clinic, the doctor who joined our platform. They said for general physician, they said it's good for basic consultation, but because we can perform physical exam on patients. And we talked to diabetic expert. He said it's not good for new patients. And we talked to nutritionist in Cambodia, and they said Cambodian people do not want to know about the nutrition knowledge. And conversely, we talked to the dermatologist. One is the BC Skin Clinic. They say we can provide plan for patients because we can see skin conditions clear enough from the pictures. And the second one, we talked to the owner of Tepi Skin Clinic. She said for skin condition, chat consultation is good enough to make a diagnosis and provide treatment plan. And we also talked to patients. And for the skin patients overall, they say it can provide quick response to my concerns and those saving time and money. Plus, it is very suitable for busy people and during this COVID-19 period, since I am afraid to travel to Phnom Penh. But for NCD patient overall, they say my condition is not clear and I still need to go have a physical meeting. And then we change again from NCD patients to patient with skin problem. And yes, we talk again. We discovered the need of the people who had skin problems. And we talked to 23 people at the coffee shop and in the office. 43% who always meet skin doctors say that seeing a skin doctor at the clinic is an effective treatment, and it is always recommended by friends and family. But 57% who did not meet skin doctor, they prefer using the product, going to pharmacy, or do nothing. They say going to skin doctor is expensive. But what we learned from the second pilot, we can prove that online consultation for the skin problems save more time, save more money, and reduce traveling. And so with this value, so how big is the market for this value? According to the research, almost 100% of adolescents has acne vulgaris. So everyone at the adolescent age has acne, correct? And the data from the Ministry of Health for the population age 15 to 49, we have 8 million people. So we can say it's as a available market. And then we understand that 48% of the total population has mobile phone and internet access. So we can calculate it to be the consultation possibility. But for Meet Doctor, we aim to get only 20% of the total of the market, which equal to 760K consultations. And then how can we reach out, how can we sell to those people? Well, I think social media, Facebook is very good channel, and other social media as well. And we also have a website, and then we can promote a mobile application to them. This is the way that we create the channel to them. And again, we talked to the BC Skin Clinic. They said that free follow-up for all patients is the key to keep patients coming back again. And then we found that the good customer relation should be created by having skin clinic promotions and insurance package. With all of this, we have to spend around $2K US for the operations. AWS Amazon Web Service Cloud around $300 per year, and API technology for the marketing is depend. And then we thought that we can earn only from the consultation commission and advertisement. Maybe it's wrong again. We joined the UNDP Blue Trap program, and we talked to many experts, and also we talked to the owner of the Kmart clinic, and then we come up with a new idea by creating more key partners and getting more revenue stream from the pharmacy and the lab commissions. We also understand the competitors that in Cambodia we have only Directory, Health Forum, and HealthFit. And international clinics with remote consultation also provided to their patients. But we can see that international directory and remote consultation from other countries, but it's not available in Cambodia. So Meet Doctor is the first one that can provide its online consultations. This is our final BMC. We also have a growth plan for that. So we will go for the medical appointment at the end of this year, and prescription and lab fulfillment next year. This is our growth strategy. Get the patient from health-related company and international doctor as well. Okay, thank you so much. This is my team.
Thanks for the presentation. I didn't quite understand, I guess, the revenue structure. Can you explain a bit more about how you would be collecting revenues? Is it from just the patients, or you would cut the commission from the doctor, and what is pharmacy commission?
So the patient need to pay to doctor. Well, we need to charge commission from that payment. This is the model. So patient pay to doctor, and we charge commission from doctor.
Do you think the doctors would be willing to sign up if you charge a commission on them? What's stopping the patient from just going directly to the doctor and then setting up a private chat session?
Because they're not in Phnom Penh, some of them, and some of them are busy. So, and for example, like people live in Stung Treng province. We got 2 patients from Stung Treng province access to skin doctors, and this is why they have to use our platform. And this is why they have to use our platform, because it saves time, they don't need to travel, and the money that they spend is less than going to physical meeting.
I want to add one point to this, because we are a medical platform, so that we have a full directory of all the doctors. So from our experience, the patient don't know which doctor to go to. So in our platform, all the doctors are listed with MCC, they have their credential, and also they are true to their specialist. So patient can access to us, then we triage them to the right doctor, so they save time and money without being worried they get cheated or untrust. And it's a good way to start for first patient, because they have the first experience with doctor first to see if the doctor suit them, and then they can go to their clinic if they need it for the procedures.
We already sold 2 cases already.
Just, your market is pretty specialized, right? I mean, you asked us whether we'd been sick. You went from sick people down to people with skin problems, right? So you've reduced your potential market. I have a couple of questions. You went out and interviewed people. Did you then focus on people with skin problems and say, would you use this? Because I'm thinking, if I have acne, as I did once upon a time, why would I not just go to Google and type in, I've got acne, what do I do? I'm surely I can get those answers there, because I'm assuming for most people the solution's the same, right? Or am I wrong on that? Do they really need this specialist advice if they've got the general acne problems which you mentioned? And then secondly, is there a similar thing elsewhere? I mean, because it's such a specialized area. I mean, have you seen elsewhere there's sort of apps for specific things like that, skin problems elsewhere, and it really does work? Because it kind of gets back to my point of why wouldn't somebody just Google and get the answer through Google? You know, why would they want to pay to be part of this?
Thank you so much for your question. I think we thought that sometimes interview is not proof the right things. We talk to people, do you want to use it? Maybe they're going to say no, but this is the real result that we receive. So this patient already consulted with our doctors. So we can prove that 61% of the 47 patients already use our service. So we can prove that they need the service.
Sorry, another question. Assuming that some of the patients with skin problems will need creams or medication, how do you plan to get it from the doctor to the patient if they're far away?
With this one, it's the last one, we also charge pharmacy commissions. So this is the way that we gain revenue stream, the way that we get the medicine to the patients. We need to partner with the delivery service right now. And then we have to think of the safety box for the medicine. For example, it's not like a food, like you take the food and then bring to customer, but this is the medicine. So we need to understand how we can store the medicine safely, how we can pack the medicine safely. And then we can partner with the delivery service and get the medicine to a patient's home.
Well, I have one question as well. Like, I'm quite a little bit confusing about from everything to the customer itself, and then are they going to be effective or not for consultation? Because, like, let's say skin problem, do they need to go for physical checkup for that too? and they have to pay anything to the doctor or traveling, anything for their own expense for that. So do you have any solution to go for that?
Thank you so much for your questions. So we already talked to the dermatologist, and they already signed with us that they're willing to provide us 20% of commissions. And for the BC Skin Clinic, and TP Skin Clinic, they didn't charge the commission for the old patients. So once the patients chat with them online, so they go to their clinic for physical meeting, they don't need to pay again. But so the patient might need to use another procedure or service, so that's why they're not going to charge for the old patients.
Thank you very much for the presentation. Actually, it seems like another proposal or presentation in the area of the health today. And I'm just curious. You are talking about some consultation by the doctor to the patients by internet or online. Yes. Here in Cambodia, do we have any approval or certificate of doing these online diagnostics?
We don't have the regulation for that, but because I'm the doctor, I'm 8-year medical student, so I will run the clinic, and then by running, having all the doctor sign under my clinic, and then we can provide online consultations to patients.
Yeah. I'm thinking of it might be good as introduction for the new patients, but when it becomes a regular patient, there's a tendency of doing it outside your apps, because he's a regular patient. Why should I pay commissions for that? Why should I pay extra for that? That's the pain points. Have you considered that? The second one is, there are lots of options available in the market, lots of to do it online. We have Zoom or any other available in social media, which which is free. Have you considered the pain points in addressing this issue in your model?
We have 2 users, 1 doctor, 1 patient. Doctor don't have time for doing those kind of service. That's one thing. And also, user reach out to doctor is very limited. But for me, doctor, we need to spend a lot of money for the marketing. So this is why we can get like a big potential market for like type of doctors that they can freely choose. They can so for example, we have Dr. A and Dr. B. Dr. A have their potential customer, and then Dr. A is on our platform, and then the customer of the Dr. A will visit on our platform. They will see also Dr. B. This is why doctor have to join us and why patient need to see our platform, because we have a wide range of doctor specialists, and we also have a wide range of patients.
I just want to add some more point, because we are doing an app. So our patient data and prescription, we provide an online prescription, and also the patient data will be stored in our app. So this is an advantage for patient and doctor to access, so they can use it continuously. Yes, thank you.
You went from originally contemplating video, right?
It's it's for the next step of our project, so it's like the later stage.
Thank you, Meet Doctor, for your wonderful presentation just now. Now moving on to our last team for the morning session. Please welcome Mahausrop team from Liger Leadership Academy. Thank you.
Welcome to Mahasrab.
Guys, sorry, can you wait a little bit? One of the judges not here yet.
Sorry.
Sorry about that. Judges, you guys can take 5 minutes break if you like. Okay, guys, you may start your presentation.
Welcome to Mahasrab, a website where audiences can have access to high-quality, authentic performances, both cultural and contemporary, anywhere and anytime they want. And this is how our story started.
Due to COVID-19, restrictions were set, and many theaters are struggling with temporary closure while others have been permanently shut down. Khmer Times reported that close to 51,000 jobs has disappeared from Siem Reap tourism industry. For Cambodian artists and performers, with the rule and restrictions set, they don't have an audience to present to, which means they are facing their own virus crisis. Recent event that occurred was that two of the remaining Cambodian shadow puppet theater, Kok Thlok and Savanapum, has shut down, which leaves only a few shadow puppet theaters to go to in Cambodia. The Cambodian Cultural Village, the only place of its kind, a place full of culture and tradition, has been permanently shut down, which leaves many people jobless. People can't go to watch performances, and performers can't perform due to COVID, which not only affects their source of income, but also the country's economy as a whole. And this is an urgent problem that we need to address.
This is where we come up with Mahasrab. Mahasrab is a website where audiences can enjoy high-quality, authentic performances with diverse content ranging from cultural to rising contemporary art, anywhere and anytime they want. And those are our main value propositions. To validate problem with theater closure, we then set out to talk to Dr. Suyun Supirat, who is the Director General at the Ministry of Culture and Fine Arts. Besides mentioning about the struggle that organizations are going through during the pandemic, he also mentioned about the lack of infrastructure in terms of performing theater, which make many of the performances inaccessible to audiences who want to see it. He concluded by saying that he loved our idea and that we can always come back to the ministry again if we need any help. Furthermore, we also went and talked to other organizations such as the founder of Cambodian Living Arts, Fapandu Salapa, New Cambodian Artists, and many more. And once again, all of these organizations confirmed that they are in fact struggling financially due to the inability to perform during the pandemic. And after hours and hours of interview that we've conducted with the organization, they said that they totally support our platform. And one of the organizations called New Cambodian Artists even offer a professionally pre-recorded content for us to use on our platform, leaving us to a good start with key partner and key resources. We then set out to talk to our customer to validate about the problem and the solution.
Our first assumption was that people are interested in watching performing art. To validate this assumption, we sent out surveys to local Cambodians across the whole country to confirm our assumption. Surprisingly, the result of the survey show us that there is a huge amount of people who are interested in watching performing art, with 96% of 615 people we surveyed. This data confirm our assumption. In addition, we received many positive feedback from our customer, And many even ask when is this going to happen? And they also mentioned that this platform helped them to get rid out of their pain of having to wait in a long line, inaccessibility to the theater crowd distraction, and especially watching performances during this pandemic. On top of these, 152 people even left their contact when we asked if they would like to join our pilot performance in the future. This illustrates that we already have market and audiences who are ready to buy our product. After learning and analyzing that there is a lot of interest from the survey, interviews, as well as accessibility of having a digital platform, we decided to expand our customer base and began to test out another assumption. To expand our customer segment, we started to test out our second assumption. We assume that people are willing to pay to watch performances through a virtual platform. To validate this assumption once again, we survey and interview a group of local Cambodians, Khmer overseas, expatriate in Cambodia, and international audiences. And 94% of 718 people we survey are willing to pay for a platform. We also survey a payment model, whether our customer prefer to pay per performance, monthly, or yearly, and the percentage of our customer who prefer to pay per performance is the highest. And all of these data showing us that there is a demand for a platform from all of our customer segment that we tested with.
Our third assumption was that we wanted the organization to film the performances themselves and we will host them on our platform. But during our validation, a concern we heard from a customer is about the quality of the content. And after learning about the concern, we wanted to ensure that our core product, which is our performance video, is the highest quality it can be for our audiences. So to address our customer concern, we crossed out the idea of letting the organization film themselves. So we pivoted and decided to create our own Mahasarab production where we can ensure that the quality will be great. But after looking at our cost structure, we realized that a high budget required for an entire production is not really ideal for a startup. So we crossed out the idea and contacted a production company called Bopana instead. And after sitting down for the interview, the organization is interested in our platform and is willing to support us on our production side. But once again, we look at our cost structure. And despite the fact that Bopana will help cut down the cost of having to create an entire production on our own, the cost will still be high for a startup. So once again, we crossed out the idea and contacted Mr. Nicholas, who is the director of School of Media, where students there get their bachelor degree in filming. And after sitting down for the interview, the organization loved our idea and is willing to provide us technical support and equipment for free in exchange for the student to have content to shoot with. And this is a great head start for our startup, since we are getting the help from organization at the early stage of our business with zero cost. So we pivoted again, changing from Bopana production to PSE production instead. And so that's our cost structure, changing from having to pay for production to having to pay none for production.
After going through this tough journey, we present you our final business canvas. Mahasarab offers the conveniences of viewing high-quality, authentic performances anywhere and anytime the audiences want, with diverse content ranging from classical, contemporary, folk, lacan, which is masked dance, and shadow puppet. And all of this content are from all of these content providers that are willing to cooperate with us and will be collected by the help of PSE, School of Media. And here are all our customer segments that we've tested with. Our revenue stream center around all of the money that is paid by audiences to watch performances on our platform. And here's our channel. The first one is a website where audiences can have access through any internet browser. There's also a function, which is our value proposition for television casting, where audiences can basically cast the performances onto the TV to have a better viewing experience if they wanted to. As our business grows in the future, we would love to enlarge the payment method and add a subscription-based plan, where audiences can enjoy unlimited content In order to do so, we will of course need to collect more content and build up our library of performances. We also want to create our platform into an application for mobile users. And promotion is also a big portion of our company, and we would love to promote our platform through cultural events and on social media. At last, Mahasarab will fulfill the demand of watching visual performances. We also believe that Mahasarab will shed light on priceless performances, preserve heritage while bringing upfront contemporary performances, and helping local artists earn a stable income. With Mahasarab, you can watch within one click. Thank you so much.
Thanks for your interesting presentations, and I think, yeah, it's one of the ways to preserve the cultural heritage, as you mentioned. But while people can have access to the open sources, and how you can, persuade people or distinguish your products from others?
To attract our customer, people can enjoy and learn Cambodian cultural performances in just one place, and they don't have to go through 2 different browsers.
The content, there also be exclusive performances that will be updated on our platform. That is the reason why many of the customers are very interested in our platform, because we have very exclusive and interesting performances on our platform.
I have 2 questions. When you were doing the survey, you said 94% were really interested in the platform. My question for that would be, did you do a comparison survey between what they watch on their mobile app or on the website versus live? If they have an option to go to either or, which one would they prefer? That's the first part. The second part is, once you create this content, who owns the right? Who owns the rights to the content itself, and how are you, share the revenue between the production company to the theater and to yourself as well?
Thank you so much for your question. For the first question, which you talk about which method would the customer prefer, whether going to the theater or watching it on the platform. So geographically, some customers who live far away from Phnom Penh, Siem Reap, or Bat Nabong, which are the places that have many theater, they actually prefer platform more because they don't have to travel all the way to watch those performances on the theater. So it really depends on customer, but customer who live far away, who don't have access, would really love to use our platform.
So for your second question is how we get the content. So like for initially, we came up with a model, the 70% and 30% model. Like the 70% of our money will go to pay the organization and the performers for the performances, and 30% will go to our company expense. But when we discussed this model with the organization said they prefer that we just license the performance beforehand. So then that's what we did. We pivoted from changing the 70 and 30% model to licensing the performance instead. And after we license the performances, we bring our production company to record the performances, and the video will be ours.
So is the idea that it's live performance? So what you're streaming is live. So the Fair Circus in Siem Reap, it's an actual performance. They have a live audience. You're filming that, and what your customers are seeing is an actual live performance. Or are they seeing a recording of the performance?
When we did the survey and asked customers which one they would prefer, they said that it doesn't matter whether it's a live performance or not. They just want a high quality performances that can be edited, and those performances will be edited, and it will, so there will be a production, and performers will perform without any audiences, and we will record the performance.
So it's not live performance. So are you paying for them to perform for you? Is that the idea? So firstly, you're not having to pay for the recording, because PSC will do it for free, right? Yeah. But you are having to pay them to put on the show.
Yes.
And that's been factored into your costing.
Yes.
And so how much would it cost me to see one of these shows? What kind of prices are you going to charge?
When we interview some organizations, they said that most of their performers, they paid them by the hour on stage. So we're going to pay them like how much hour they're going to perform. And the price, as we survey our customers, our domestic customers are willing to pay a maximum of $2.5, while international audience come overseas and expatriate are willing to pay a maximum of $5.
I'm sorry, what is this price? One film, one performance, or subscription? What is this price?
This price is per performance.
Regarding to your survey, I just feel 615 people is too low. So if you compare with the our population, I say like maybe 60% of 16 million people, you do not cover 1% of those population yet. So I recommend you to do the survey again, because I'm considering that people this day, they do not interested in this kind of performance. So before doing the further businesses or the next step, I suggest you to do the survey again and see if they're still interested in your business model. And for the online subscription here, maybe you charge monthly basis. And regardless they watch or not, performance or not, and then you can just charge as the Netflix done and some other kind of services has done until so far. My suggestion only. Yeah.
Thank you.
Just wanted to clarify that point. So basically for this price, people will get to see a show once, right? And there's going to be a shadow puppet show or maybe a performance of Far Circus, yeah? So why wouldn't they just go to YouTube and see that? You know what I mean? If they want to see a Cambodian shadow puppet, why aren't they just going to YouTube and seeing it for free? Or is your point that this particular performance is exclusive to your channel, and if they want to see this particular performance, they have to go exclusively to your channel and pay for it? Is that what separates you from me going to YouTube and just typing in Khmer Shadow Puppet?
Our unique selling point is that if you're interested in watching performing art, you can just find Cambodian performances in just one location, while you can help local artists to have a stable income.
You obviously need a lot of people to make this work, right? You need a lot of people paying $2.49. So when you did your survey, and you did mention that you did a survey over the whole country. I'm not sure what you mean by that. So when you said you surveyed across the whole country, 615 people, were these actual surveys where you spoke to them one-on-one, or is this sort of done online and they just tick an answer to a box? Is that, what kind of survey did you do?
Thank you so much for your question. So to clarify with that point, what we were saying is that we did the survey and also with the interview. It was a mix. We sent out survey to many provinces, but we also called people and call our customer to have to conduct interview over phone with people like from different provinces, from many provinces.
So along that, I actually do like the idea in preserving the culture and having high quality content. I mean, this is something that's why I go back to the question who owns the rights. Because if you have this content and you actually own the rights, you can always sell it to like Netflix, right, for distribution. So when you say you're licensing that, you're licensing the performance, but the video itself is that you own and you can redistribute it to anywhere? Or every time you do that, do you have to pay back the theater company? How does that work with the licensing?
So for the licensing part, when we talked with the organization, they said that they would prefer us to license the performance for a period amount of time. So we would own the content for a period amount of time. And if we want to continue hosting it on our platform, we would renew our contract with them.
And what's the kind of a general average cost between that to like the production cost and how much you actually, so for example, if it costs you say $1,000 or $10,000, how many users would you need to be able to break even with that? Like how many people have to pay in order for you to break even with licensing the content?
We haven't, we've looked into that, but the organization said that they are still coming up with a price, and we haven't looked too much into that, but we'll continue looking into that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mahausra, for your outstanding presentation. And that was our last student team for our morning agenda. And so our program will now be taking a short lunch break. Our volunteers have prepared a lunch box for all of the student team and sponsor outside the hall. Please kindly follow them outside. For our judges, we have organized a group lunch for everybody. Please kindly follow our coordinator and team. We will be back to hear more amazing presentation from other student team around 1 p.m. We hope everyone present and the audience watching from our Facebook live stream have a refreshing lunch break. Thank you very much.